My name is Eric Keune. I'm a design director in the Chicago office of Skidmore, Owings Merrill. This is offered as video testimony in the appeals hearing for the Selby Public Library building, currently G.WIZ Museum in Sarasota. Having visited the building in September, it is SOM's contention that the modifications made subsequent to the building's design as a library when it was converted to use as a science museum are fundamentally reversible. The building's superstructure, as analyzed by SOM in November and December, as designed, has proven to be one of extraordinary robustness. The building is not in immediate danger of collapse, nor is it unusable on the interior, issues of a 42-year-old building notwithstanding. The structure is ready and able to be reimagined for 21st century uses that will ensure its viability for the next 50 years. The Selby Library's highly faceted geometric exterior is an exemplar of its architect Walter Netsch's design vision for field theory, in which his personal design language came to define his career and his exploration as an architect. The building stands as a strong and obvious counterpoint to Taliesin Associated Architects' Van Wezel Performing Arts Center, which stands immediately adjacent to this former Selby Library building just across the canal. Architect Walter Netsch is important for the following reasons to the history of American architecture. He was the developer of field theory and a prominent design partner in the leading international architectural practice of Skidmore, Owings Merrill. While at SOM, Walter authored many buildings, including the Cadet Chapel at the United States Air Force Academy and the Art Museum of Miami University, as well as the extension of the Art Institute of Chicago, which opened 2 years before the Selby Library. The Cadet Chapel has received the AIA's 25-year award in 1996 and was subsequently recognized as a National Historic Landmark, the second SOM building to be recognized by the U.S. Secretary of the Interior in 2004. Walter Netsch was an internationally acclaimed expert specifically in the design of libraries, having designed more than a dozen of them in his career, nationally and internationally. Adaptive reuse proposals for the future of this building should allow the building to both actively contribute to and serve the needs of the community while performing other functions that have only begun to be explored. This concept is both economically viable and environmentally sustainable as an alternative which is consistent with the city's commitment to environmental sustainability in the face of climate change. The most sustainable building is the one that already exists, and this one deserves to continue to exist and to be reused. There are many functions that this building could continue to perform, including those which support the proposed use of the greater site as Sarasota's premier public open space for the 21st century. However, the rush to demolition has negated the opportunity for thoughtful or even brief consideration of other futures for this award-winning work of modern architecture. Sarasota as a city is uniquely connected to the history of modern American architecture, almost as closely as the history of Chicago is. This mid-century modern building, your former library, is an effective and articulate contributor to that story, and as such is a draw. SOM is pleased to continue to work closely with the city and with any active interested party in reimagining a robust, sustainable future for this building. Having been recognized upon its opening as a working work of art, the building deserves landmark status and a thoughtful adaptive reuse for how it can continue to serve Sarasota for the next 50 years. We have been working closely with the International Preservation and Architectural History Organization, DOCOMOMO. It's focused on the documentation and preservation of the sites of modernism in the fight to save the Selby Library. In closing, I would add that while I didn't know this building well when discussions surrounding this building began, I was moved by the research and the information that we uncovered internally as part of the discovery process to further dig into the history of the building, its design and construction, and its frankly profound beauty and understated elegance in the oeuvre of Walter Netsch's work, of which this